Ciao e benvenuto. I'm Valentina Stella, native Italian teacher, and today we're going to learn 50 essential Italian phrases to use at the hotel. With this series, my goal is to teach you some of the most common phrases in Italian that you may need in the classical situations you encounter when you visit Italy, so that you can learn them, practice them, and use them next time you come to Italy. So, let's begin. Iniziamo. Reservation, check-in, and check-out. Hello, I have a reservation under the name Rossi. Salve, ho una prenotazione a nome Rossi. What I want you to notice here is that something that's very common when learning Italian, you will notice that we do not always use the same prepositions. So for a reservation under the name, we say prenotazione a nome. So we say a reservation to name Rossi. That's just a difference between Italian and English, and it's just that, something that you need to learn because we say that differently. So I want you to notice that we say a nome Rossi. Excuse me, is there a room available for tonight? Mi scusi, c'è una camera disponibile per stasera? Now, something I want to point out that applies to almost any questions you ask, is that a way to sound very polite when asking something, especially if you ask something to a stranger, is to begin your question with mi scusi. Mi scusi is the formal way of saying excuse me or pardon me. And it's a very good habit to start your questions with it to sound polite to whoever you are going to ask your question. So remember, mi scusi. I would like to book a single room. Vorrei prenotare una camera singola. I would like to book a double room. Vorrei prenotare una camera doppia. I would like to book a double room with a queen size bed. Vorrei prenotare una camera doppia con letto matrimoniale. Now, in Italian, camera doppia means a room for two people. If you don't specify that you want a camera con letto matrimoniale, which literally means with a wedding bed, if you don't specify that, they're probably going to give you a room with two single beds. So if you want a bigger bed or only one big bed, like a queen size or a king size bed, ask for letto matrimoniale. That's how we say a bed for two people. How much does one night cost? Quanto costa una notte? And remember, as we said in the previous video, many of these sentences can be reused in different situations. So this phrase, how much does something cost, quanto costa in Italian, can be reused in any situation. So notice that we just say quanto costa, and then at the end of the sentence of the question we add the thing we're asking for. So, for example, quanto costa una notte? Just remember to put the thing you're asking for at the end of the question. Do you accept credit cards? Accettate carte di credito? Now, this also is something that I pointed out in the previous video. If you missed that video, please check that out in on my channel. When we talk to someone that works in a business, so for example in a restaurant, in a hotel, even if you're talking to one person person, we refer to them with voi. And voi means you, plural, you all. Why do we do that? It's like you are talking to one person, but that person represents a business, and a business is made of more than one person. So we use the voi instead of the tu or the lei. That's an established practice in Italian. So that's why you may notice when I give you all of these, many of these sentences, many of these questions also, you will notice that I use voi. Voi accettate, even if I don't state the voi, because we usually don't. That's the reason why. Remember that we use voi most of the times when talking to someone who represents a business. Quindi, so, accettate carte di credito? Perfetto. What time can I check in? A che ora posso fare il check-in? And this sentence shows you how in Italian we have taken a lot of words from English and we are commonly using them. But in English you say to check in, so that's a verb. In Italian we use fare il check-in, to do the check-in. That's the difference. That's how we incorporated to check in our language. And you will notice this form a lot of times where we use fare plus something to incorporate, and the something is an English word, to incorporate an English verb, an English expression into Italian. So remember, to check in Italian is fare il check-in. What time do I have to check out? A che ora devo lasciare la camera? So what we're literally saying in this sentence is, at what time do I need to leave the room? Lasciare la camera. Which is a way of saying that you're going to check out. You're going to leave the room. Can I leave my luggage here after checkout? Posso lasciare i bagagli qui dopo il checkout? Perfetto. As you can see, we do use the word checkout as the check-in. And so when you say that you're checking out, you can say lasciare la camera, you're leaving the room, or you can say fare il checkout. The same way you say fare il check-in for checking in, you can say fare il check-out for checking out. And that's perfectly understandable to Italian native speakers because that's how we say. We got those words from English. So remember, as I always say, and that's something I always want to highlight with these videos, there's not just one correct way of saying things. I'm teaching you the most common phrases, but I also want to teach you that you can personalize them, customize them, and reuse a lot of expressions. The goal is that you will be able to communicate. Use these as templates that you can customize for your own needs, and you know why you're doing that. If you like this kind of videos, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and also hit that bell so that you will receive notifications anytime I post a new video. To be sure that you're going to receive notifications for all of my videos, when you click on the bell next to the subscribe button, please make sure to select all. That means you're going to receive a notification for all the new videos that I post. Asking about hotel services. Do you have daily housekeeping services? Avete il servizio di pulizia giornaliero? Does my room have a private bathroom? La mia camera ha un bagno privato? Is there free Wi-Fi in the hotel? C'è la connessione Wi-Fi gratuita nell'hotel? Remember that in Italian, the word free is usually translated with libero. But when in English you use free as free of cost, so no money, that's not libero, it's gratuito. So connessione Wi-Fi gratuita means free Wi-Fi connection. Do you have an airport shuttle service? Avete un servizio di navetta per l'aeroporto? What time is breakfast served? A che ora viene servita la colazione? I would like to request room service. Vorrei richiedere il servizio in camera. Is there a minibar in my room? C'è un minibar nella mia camera? Do you have a laundry service? Avete un servizio di lavanderia? Notice how I'm using avete again. Voi avete, because I'm asking this question to someone who represents a business, the hotel in this instance. Is there a safe in my room? C'è una cassaforte nella mia camera? Do you provide wake-up calls? Avete un servizio di sveglia? So, sveglia means alarm in Italian. Have you ever heard of svegliarsi, which means to wake up? Well, svegliarsi has to do with sveglia, and sveglia is an alarm, something that wakes you up, che ti sveglia. That's why we don't ask, do you have wake-up calls? We literally are saying, do you have a service of alarm? Avete un servizio di sveglia. Can I have an iron? Posso avere un ferro da stiro? Is there private parking? C'è un parcheggio privato? How much does parking cost per day? Quanto costa il parcheggio al giorno? Can you notice here we are reusing the same structure we were talking before? Quanto costa? Whenever you want to ask how much something, anything costs, you just use quanto costa and then you add the thing you're asking for. And this is just another example of how simple that is. Is breakfast included in the room price? La colazione è inclusa nel prezzo della camera? Now, something I want you to notice, and this is very important when learning phrases in Italian and practicing them, and we're specifically talking about questions. You may notice that I'm making questions very, very noticeable. La colazione è inclusa nel prezzo della camera? You can definitely hear my intonation changing, and the reason why is that Italian is different from English. In Italian, the structure of the question is exactly the same as the statement. If I remove the question mark from this phrase in Italian and I substitute that with a period, I will have a statement. It will work perfectly. I don't have to change the order of any word. That's not like in English. In English, the order of words changes depending if you're asking a question or stating a phrase. In Italian, that does not happen. The structure, the order of the words in the sentence of a statement is the same of the order of the words in a question. So this is why it's so crucial. I always say this to all of my students. It's really crucial that you do these two things. When you are typing, writing an email, or writing a letter, you need to make sure that you add a question mark. Otherwise, there will be a statement, not a question. And when you speak, when you ask questions, please make your question noticeable noticeable by changing the intonation of your voice, like I'm doing here. Now, to give you a quick example, I'm going to read this sentence twice. The first time I'm going to read it again as a question, and the second time I'm going to read it as a statement. So you will notice it's the exact same sentence. The only thing that changes is my intonation. Please practice after me to learn your Italian question intonation. This is really important to be sure that you're not going to be misunderstood. So let's go. First is question. La colazione è inclusa nel prezzo della camera? Second time, statement. La colazione è inclusa nel prezzo della camera. Can you notice that? In the first one, I changed my intonation toward the end, like kind of raising the intonation. In the second one, my voice is flat, and that means it's a statement. This is very important. Please, please, please practice this a lot because it's crucial to be understood correctly by native Italian speakers. Okay, let's move on. Many more sentences to learn. What time does the hotel pool open? A che ora apre la piscina dell'hotel? Is there a gym? C'è una palestra? Is there a spa? C'è una spa? Okay, let's learn a few sentences about assistance and information. Excuse me, could you call a taxi for me tomorrow morning? Mi scusi, potrebbe chiamarmi un taxi per domani mattina? So, again, we are using mi scusi, the proper way to say excuse me or pardon me to someone in a formal situation or someone we do not know. Can you recommend a good restaurant nearby? Mi potrebbe consigliare un buon ristorante nelle vicinanze? Excuse me, could you send someone to fix the air conditioner? Mi scusi, potrebbe inviarmi qualcuno per riparare il condizionatore? Excuse me, could you send someone to fix the air conditioner? Mi scusi, potrebbe mandarmi qualcuno per riparare il condizionatore? Excuse me, could you send someone to fix the air conditioner? Mi scusi, potrebbe mandarmi qualcuno per riparare il condizionatore? My room key doesn't work. Could you check it, please? La chiave della mia camera non funziona. Potrebbe controllarla, per favore? Could you give me another blanket? Mi potrebbe dare un'altra coperta? And as you will notice in the upcoming sentences, we are going to reuse this exact form. Mi potrebbe dare. Potrebbe is the conditional form, is the equivalent of could in Italian, and that's the politest form you can use in Italian. And mi is to me, but we put that before the verb instead of after, as like it happens in English. So this is something I want you to notice. We put the pronoun in front of the verb, as I have explained in other videos, grammar videos, but notice and memorize this form. Mi potrebbe, could you, mi, and then you have dare. So we literally say, mi could you give? I know it's weird. I know it sounds like Yoda in Star Wars a little bit. That's all what I say to my students all the time when I explain the phrasing of Italian sentences and the order, but that's how we say that. So, mi potrebbe dare is the correct way of phrasing could you give me in Italian. Could you give me another pillow? Mi potrebbe dare un altro cuscino? Could you give me another towel? Mi potrebbe dare un altro asciugamano? Perfetto, so as you can see, you can just use the same form, mi potrebbe dare, and then add whatever you would like to have. And this is going to sound super, super polite. Could you give me a power adapter? Mi potrebbe dare un adattatore per la presa elettrica? And this sentence shows you how we tend to make things a little more complicated in Italian. So in English you just say a power adapter. For us, we cannot translate that literally. We usually say like so quickly. We usually say un adattatore per la presa elettrica. It's a little bit longer. Where can I find a city map? Dove posso trovare una cartina della città? Could you give me some directions on how to get to the city center? Mi potrebbe dare qualche indicazione su come arrivare in centro? What can I visit nearby? Cosa posso visitare qui vicino? Could you recommend some tourist attractions to visit? Mi potrebbe consigliare qualche attrazione turistica da visitare? Where can I find an ATM nearby? Dove posso trovare un bancomat nelle vicinanze? And notice that nearby in Italian can be qui vicino, here close, literally, or nelle vicinanze, nearby also. So as you can see, we always have more than one way of saying something. These are some of the most common and most used ones. Qui vicino, nelle vicinanze. Could you give me the phone number of the American Embassy? Mi potrebbe dare il numero di telefono dell'ambasciata americana? Could you give me the phone number of the police? Mi potrebbe dare il numero di telefono della polizia? Could you give me the phone number of the nearest hospital? Mi potrebbe dare il numero di telefono dell'ospedale più vicino? Could you recommend some places to shop nearby? Mi potrebbe consigliare qualche posto per fare shopping qui vicino? And this sentence is perfect to show you 2 points that I made earlier. One, fare plus an English word. Like in English you say to shop or to go shopping, we say fare shopping. And qui vicino is the other way that we use to say nearby. Where can I find a souvenir shop? Dove posso trovare un negozio di souvenir? Is there a currency exchange service at the hotel? C'è un servizio di cambio valuta in hotel? Can I book a city tour at the reception? Posso prenotare un tour della città presso la reception? Molto bene. If you like this kind of videos, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and also click on the bell and select all to make sure that you're going to be notified all the videos that I publish, including this series, and not to miss any of them. I will see you in the next video. Until then, have a great day, buona giornata e a presto!